Here it is, guys. Here it is. The patch note that everyone has been waiting for. July 27 patch note. Welcome to my analysis commentary on this awesome patch note. We're gonna analyze every single details that Nexon provides us as usual, and we'll try to judge if they are sane or not. Alright, let's go. Alright, so patch schedule. Looks like we have a 4-hour maintenance server break. That's cool, that's cool. Need some break so I can play some other games. Just kidding. I wish there weren't such a long maintenance. Patch content, alright. So they are adding addition of new heroes, areas, addition of the new snowfield area. So we have seen this coming. They did mention that they are adding a new area, accessible one in the CR continent. The new snowfield area has been added. The snowfield has 6 normal dungeons, 2 boss dungeons and 2 scenario dungeons. Alright, so seems balanced. In order to enter snowfield, you must first obtain Ryogang from the bamboo grove. Oh, that's a bummer. Alright, so if you do not have Ryogang, make sure to recruit her. You can watch my video on my guide on how to beat her stage, because I don't think you would have any difficulty. They did nerf most of the stages in CR continent. Obviously, if you are a new player, you might struggle a little, but other than that, you know, if you are really new and you are struggling in CR continent, you should be focusing on getting better equipment and farming first. Don't worry about this, unless there's something unique here that you are going to miss out on. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Alright, you can obtain a new hero by playing the snowfield scenario. A new hero, just one. The following heroes are available in the snowfield. So White Tiger's Manor, you can get Shogun. The following heroes are available. I only see one hero, Shogun, which you can obtain from completing White Tiger's Manor. Addition of 2 new heroes, Shogun and GuitarRock. Alright, so let's have a look at them individually. White Tiger Shogun. Alright, so that's the White Tiger symbol. Look at that, man. Alright, so genes required 712. Not bad. Did they reduce the required genes? That's quite interesting. Alright, what else do we have? Alright, so first skill. Oh, obviously, if you guys haven't guessed it already, he's not a paper type, he's a scissor type. Scissors. And he's an attack type. Scissors, attack type, and his terrain advantage, I think, is ice terrain. So we can see that similarity with Lee. Cold Grudge. Attacks enemies at a certain amount of attack. If the enemy is on an ice terrain upon casting, the skill decreases enemies' defense for a set amount of turns. Okay, so it only works if enemy is on an ice terrain. Alright, so second skill, White Tiger's Fangs. Erects sharp ice pillars, inflicting damage at a certain amount of attack. If Shogun is on an ice terrain, the final skill power increases by a certain amount. If the enemy is on an ice terrain, the final skill power also increases by a certain amount. So depending on who is on the ice terrain, the amount could be different. The amount of increased final skill power. So we can see similarity with Hongyam's second skill already, where if Hongyam is on her lava terrain, she would get bonus final skill power, and I believe she gets higher crit rate as well. But that's her passive, I think. It's not her second skill. Her second skill provides with ignores enemies' defense and increase final skill power, if I'm not mistaken. So it does similar things. So we'll see how that works out. Let's have a look on his third skill, Freezing Shackles. Summons a Binding Ice Storm that attacks enemies at a certain amount of attack and creates a chance of immobilizing enemies on ice terrains for a set amount of turns. Also creates a chance of casting a delay effect that activates after a set amount of turns, that changes the terrains within a 1 tile range around the enemy into ice for a set amount of turns. That's confusing as shit, man. Alright, let's try again. Let's try to understand the phrase. Man, these wordings. If only they could just provide us with modifiers, it would help a lot. Summons a Binding Ice Storm that attacks enemies at a certain amount of attack, yeah, okay. Creates a chance of immobilizing enemies on ice terrains. So there's a percentage of chance to immobilize them if the enemy is on an ice terrain. For how many amount of turn, we don't know. Also creates a chance of casting a delay effect. Alright, similar to Ryogang's delay effect, that activates after a set amount of turns. So this delay effect activates after a set amount of turns, and this delay effect changes the terrain within a 1 tile range around the enemy into ice for a set amount of turn. So 1 tile range around the enemy, so that covers quite a lot. That covers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tiles plus the middle one, 9. So it covers 9 tiles total. I assume it covers the where the enemy is standing as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Interesting. Alright, let's have a look at the passive skill. So White Tiger's Energy. Shogun turns his tile into ice for a set amount of turns at the beginning of his turn. Turns his tile into ice, so only 1 tile for a set amount of turn. Alright, so if Shogun is on an ice terrain, the skill increases attack and decreases damage from enemy skills with range less than 2. So if Shogun is on an ice terrain, enemies with melee attacks will not hurt him as much. That's based on my understanding. Alright, so how does the skill synergize with each other? I would say depending on the amount of... Alright, it all depends on this delay effect that activates after a set amount of turns. So we need to know like what are the percentage chance. You say creates a chance of casting a delay effect, but what's the chance? Is it 50%? Is it 90%? That could affect how good this hero is. But based on what I'm seeing, I don't think he's as strong as Hongyeom. That's just my opinion, alright? So you're free to let me know your opinion as well. There's always the comment section below. But based on just reading the description, I think Hongyeom is much more easier to use and utilize her skills. He might be good, Shogun might be good if in certain maps, and if he can synergize himself with heroes that can benefit from ice tiles. Ice tile. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not a big fan of Ryogang. I mean, she's not a bad hero, it's just that there's too much RNG involved, and I can feel the same with this character right here. with the delay effect and everything. But what would be interesting is that right now, as of right now, he turns his tile into ice only on the tile he's standing. I'm curious if in the future he might get Soul Gear, which can buff his passive skill, and that could be awesome. Imagine if he can change within surrounding him by one tile, not just the tile that he's standing. So that would make him a lot more stronger. But as of now, I'm not saying he's weak, but compared to Hongyum, I think Hongyum is stronger. He is Scissors though, and he is attack type, and he can be awakened. So you are going to see him a lot in Battle of Honor until there are better options available. That's for sure. Alright, let's have a look at his awakening skill before I finalize my judgment on him. Glacier Hell freezes the earth, inflicting damage at a certain amount of attack, and turns its effective range into ice terrains. Also makes all enemies within its range receive more damage caused by ice terrains for a set amount of turns. Alright. So this is the skill. The awakening skill is the skill that changes all the tiles into ice terrain. But to be able to activate this, you need to wait till turn 4, which is kind of a bummer. Let's read again just to reconfirm. Freezes the earth, inflicting damage at a certain amount of attack, and turn its effective range into ice terrains. Yes, it turns lots of terrains into ice terrains. Makes all enemies within its range receive more damage caused by ice terrains for... Alright. Yeah. So, unlike Hongyum, which is her third skill, so this guy's awakening skill is the one that changes the tile. Maybe Nexon actually realized that Hongyum is a bit too strong, so they are trying, this is their method of nerfing a new tile change hero. I don't know, just my theory. Alright, so recruitment location can be obtained in White Tiger's Manor, the 4th dungeon of Snowfield. Purchase Shogun premium special box, blah blah blah. Alright, can have a look at the package later and what the heck they offer in the package. Alright, let's have a look at our next hero, Martial Artist GuitarRock. So this guy requires 712 genes, so it's another Scissors hero, and he's a defense type as opposed to an attack type. Alright, defense type, let's have a look. Ferocious Pounding, first skill. Forcefully strikes at an enemy, inflicting damage at a certain amount of attack. If there are a certain amount of energy marks on the map, double attack activates. Additionally, inflicting a certain amount of the skill's original damage. Interesting skill. I like that it can activate double attack, but I don't like the range, man. That range, come on. One tile range, huh? You can't build a counter GuitarRock then. Alright, let's have a look at the second skill before I judge how we can build him. Adamantine Energy. Discharges energy, inflicting a certain amount of damage on all enemies within the range. GuitarRock's chance of being attacked by enemies increases by a certain amount for a set amount of turns. Also casts energy marks on all allies within the range for a set amount of turns, up to 3 marks. For allies who already have an energy mark on them, this skill casts a shield that lasts for a set amount of turns and decreases all skill damage once by a certain amount. Alright, it sounds similar to Ildo's third skill, except for the shield thing, you know. So cast energy marks. So it increases his chance of being attacked. So that means that it's an aggro skill, similar to Bearman's third. But then there's protect your allies with some sort of shield. So yeah, you can compare that with Ildo's third skill as well, where he can protect allies within that third skill's range. Alright, let's have a look at his third skill then. Asura's Energy. Explodes a fierce energy, inflicting a certain amount of damage on all enemies within the range and casting energy marks on all allies within the range for a set amount of turns. If there are a certain amount of energy marks on the map, the skill inflicts additional damage on enemies within the range that equals a certain amount of max HP. Explodes a fierce energy, alright. That range is similar to Yekaterina's range, third skill. Energy marks, additional damage. Alright, so it has HP percent damage, but it's all going to depend on the energy marks. I don't really like these energy marks. What the heck is this? Let's have a look at the passive, then we'll find out. Flow of the Universe. GuitarRock's max HP increases by a certain amount for every energy mark on the map. If there are a certain amount of energy marks in the map, GuitarRock gains resistance. If there are a certain amount of or more, allies achieve more defense. How do you spawn energy marks? Cast energy marks. Second skill can casting energy marks. If there are a certain amount of energy marks on the map. Alright, his second and third skill allows him to cast energy marks, and from there the passive will get stronger. So max HP increases by a certain amount depending on how many energy marks are there on the map, and he might gain resistance as well. If there are a certain amount or more, allies achieve more defense. I mean, alright, the energy mark thing makes him unsuitable in Battle of Honor, because it seems like it will take a few turns before he can actually utilize or maximize his passive skill. So that's kind of a bummer. He might be useful in Tower of Dawn Hell, Tower of Dawn in general, or even in Guild Raid as well. So yeah, he could be used in Guild Raids. We'll have to see. I doubt he'll be that useful in Battle of Honor. There are so much more option. Like, are you going to replace your Chris for this guy who relies on energy marks to be strong? I don't know. I don't think I will. I mean, like, yeah, his second skill is kind of cool, but depending on the modifiers, Ildo might be better. And yeah, like I say, his first skill range, that might turn off some people, you know. Some people likes to run their Ildo with outer space, Gold Tiger outer space kind of setup, counter Ildo, and I doubt those people would switch to him anytime soon. Alright, let's have a look at his awakening skill. Gusting Heaven's Wrath. Rapidly circulates the inner energy, attacking all enemies within the range at a certain amount of attack, casting energy marks on all allies within the range for a set amount of turns, and creates a shield that lasts for a set amount of turns and decreases skill damage once by a certain amount. Alright, that's a bit confusing, but basically it casts energy marks on all allies for a set amount of turns, and this skill inflicts additional defense ignoring damage for every energy mark on the map. Cool. Can be obtained in Hunter's Cage, the 8th dungeon of Snowfield, and either that or you can purchase GuitarRock Premium Special Box from Lobby. Alright, so we'll have a look at him later on. So let's have a look at the new achievements added. Clear Snowfield, recruit heroes in Snowfield to accomplish achievements. So if you recruit them, you get 300 mana stones and 80 Scion's gene fragments. Not that great of a reward, but I guess it is what it is. Alright, so addition of 8 new stories for the new zone and the new heroes. We'll have a look at the stories as soon as we recruit them. As usual, stay tuned for the channel. On the channel. I usually post stories as well. Alright, addition of 1 new awakening hero. Alright, Mu. We'll have Mu awaken. Still haven't seen this yet. Alright, the awakening skill Exorcism frees the power sealed in a talisman, attacking enemies at a certain amount of attack and decreases healing amount for a set amount of turns. Plunders the enemy's soul to increase Mu's attack and defense by a certain amount for a set amount of turns. Alright, so Mu will get rebalanced. The hero's stats have been changed. Alright, let's have a look. Obviously she's gonna get stronger. I wonder if she will be tanky. Alright, let's have a look at her changes. So Spirit Summoning, I believe this is her passive skill. So before the change, when an ally dies, Mu summons the ally spirit, increases attack by 1640, crit rate by 11%, and HP by 8400. So after the skill change, after the patch, they are changing the attack by 1640 to attack by 10%. So instead of a flat amount, it's increasing by percentage. 10% could be more depending on what kind of equipments you have on her and what kind of runes you have on her. So crit rate still the same, and HP instead of 8400 is now 15,000. That's almost double the amount, which is kind of good. It means that she will be quite strong now every time an ally dies. Alright, so attacks enemies at 140.8% attack and recovers MP 5.7%. So this is her first skill range, I believe. So they're changing her range. Alright, that's cool. They're changing her range, giving her more tiles to be able to attack. So there are no changes in her second skill, and her third skill modifier increased from 177% to 182%. The healing remains the same. Oh, there's an additional recovers HP at 45% attack. Attacks enemies, heals allies, and recovers HP. Wow, that's not bad. That means, oh, it really synergizes with her passive skill, you know? Imagine if she's the last man standing, she has a gold tiger, and recovers HP by 45% of her attack. Imagine that every time she uses third skill. But she does have some mana problems, so she won't be able to spam her third skill as much. But this is interesting, man. I'm curious to see how it works out. Also increases Mu's crit rate by 7,800 for 1 turn. Alright, so if you use her third skill, she will get a pretty high amount of crit rate, which is insane. She seems pretty solid, depending on her stats, what kind of buffs she will receive. She's going to be extremely strong. Get ready to see her maybe perhaps replace Ildo or even Chris in Battle of Honor. Alright, let's have a look. The hero soul gear stat has been adjusted. So they adjust Mu's soul gear, her wings. Before this, it's when an ally dies, increases additional 825 attack and 4000 HP. So now They are changing the 825 flat attack to 10%. Additional 10%. Oh my god! So her default passive is already 10%. If you have this soul gear maxed out, you have another 10%, which gives you 20%. Wow. If an ally dies, increases additional 20% of her attack. That's strong, man. Imagine if you purposely bring in like 2-star, 1-star heroes and get them easily killed within the first turn in Battle of Honor. And if she has Desomia, Beast Rain, and those high attack buff sets, she's going to be extremely strong. Obviously someone's going to do that now that I mention it, haha. Alright, so they have added the new August Tower of Dawn, addition of save or load function for parties. Alright, now this is something that I believe many people has been looking forward to, and it's extremely cool, man. You get to save and load function for parties. You get to have presets of equipments for your characters, which is very good. Alright, so for example, they have shown one example here. For example, if you have Henry, this is the preset, and then you can save the party preset, and even the party itself, the party and the equipment, and then you can load it anytime you want. So this is very helpful, especially in guild raids where you have 5 characters. Every day you need to use different characters. Obviously you want to have different equipment presets on them individually, and it's so freaking annoying to individually change the equipments and such. So with this is going to help out a lot. It's going to make everyone, oh, you don't have excuse now. I don't care who you are, you don't have any excuse to not play guild raid, to not do any runs in guild raid. Like, this helps you tremendously. It helps everyone tremendously. No one's gonna have the excuse, oh no, I don't have time, my dog died, or whatever shit reason you can give. No, man. It's just going to take like what, 10 seconds at most. Just load the presets you want and then enter guild raid, leave it on auto. There, at least you contribute a little bit to your guild, Don't give shitty excuse. No more, man. No more. Alright. Shit, there's a hair on the screen. Go away. Alright. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You can select the characters. What bothers me the most is I have a feeling there's going to be lots and lots and lots and lots of bugs with this. I'm pretty sure, knowing Nexon, there's going to be bugs with this feature right now. I mean, as soon as it's released. And yeah, we're going to see like maybe floating characters or floating equipments. I don't know, man. I just hope that the bugs are not severe. I mean, hope that it's as minor as possible and it doesn't affect gameplay in any way. In the previous patch, there was a bug related to iOS, specifically on iOS platform, where when you change gear or you are in a gear equipment changing screen, it will lag like crazy. I hope this doesn't happen there, even though I'm on Android, but I have a couple of guildmates that use iOS and it's going to affect them. Alright, so you can save and load your current party formation, heroes, sorting equipment and runes. Once you load the equipment off, the heroes will be changed without having to manually change the settings. That's so cool, Nexon. That's so cool. I love this feature. Alright, you can check the heroes' equipment information and their combat power by selecting the save slot and selecting show equipment. You can also save and load parties in Battle of Honor. If you load a 5-character party preset, only the first 4 characters will be loaded. Oh, interesting. So you can try similar things, similar preset for Battle of Honor, but it will only choose your first 4 characters. Ah, alright, that's cool. I mean, that's really cool, you know, considering that every week you have a map change, you could have a preset for every week as well. That's cool, man. That's cool. It's cool. A slot to save parties will be provided by default, and it can be expanded up to 10 slots by using crystals. Ah, so a slot to save parties will be provided by default. So we can have up to 10 different slots. To have the second one, you need to pay 50 crystals. And to have the 10th slot, you need to pay 800 crystals! Oh my god, man. Why can't they give us for free? Alright. So, obviously, if you are a whale or if you are a paying player, you wouldn't mind spending that. How much does it total up to? 800 plus 1000, 2000, 3000, 500, 3650. So if you were to purchase from slot 2 to slot 10, it will cost 3650 crystals, if my calculation serves me correct. So that's a lot of crystal, man. That's a lot of crystals. That's like 3 times 10 pulls. I mean, I don't know, if you are free to play, you might consider maybe buying up to slot 5, but at the same time you gotta think of the benefit that you can actually have from having up to 10 slots, you know. It's gonna save you lots of time, so it's worth considering. Yeah, I'm going to lean towards, for most people it's not worth getting up until slot 5 or 6. Why do you need 10 slots, right? I mean, like, yeah, you could have 5 slots for guild raids, I mean 7 for guild raids, and then I don't know, I think you only need maybe 5 for guild raids. You could, a couple of days you could set yourself, and then Battle of Honor you could set yourself, I think. Not sure if it's worth spending so much crystals on just getting an extra slot each time. Let me know what you guys think, alright? As usual. Okay, so a function to view heroes in 2 rows will be added from the party settings. Heroes can be viewed in 2 rows from the party settings, alright? Okay, so the third one, addition of new set items. Yeah! We've been waiting for this for a long time. Everyone's so hyped, man. Let's have a look at the new set items. You can obtain new set items by summoning equipment or using set selection tickets. So let's have a look. There's 4 for slot 1. There's 4 for slot... Oh my god, there's so many of them. What? Oh my god, how long is this freaking patch not? Holy shit, man, this patch note is long. Oh my god. This is the longest patch note I've ever seen in history. Alright, you know what, guys? Why is it so long? What nonsense are they? Why is it so freaking long? I've been recording for 33 minutes! Oh my god. 33 minutes. It's gonna take like 2 more hours to finish this. Alright guys, I'll tell you what. I'm going to make this into a 2-part series. So I'll end the video here. So this is part 1. So we'll get to the equipments later. So just stay tuned on my channel if you want to have a look at part 2. I'll be sure to put it on, I promise, within 1 to 2 hours. Alright, so just stay tuned for that. Alright, so if you haven't already, you can subscribe to my channel. Give this video a like if you like it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice one. Goodbye.